Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about how you can grow really big plants like this Thai Constellation Monstera in LECA. So your typical LECA system or plant looks something like this. It has a little reservoir, maybe an insert pot, or you're just potted directly into this mason jar or vase. And typically they're pretty small and you can grow kind of vining plants, but it's kind of limited the size of plant you can grow. Also, the main issue I have with this is that this water sits. It's not continuously oxygenated and refreshed, and it becomes kind of stale. So to solve this problem, we're gonna use a small air pump and an air stone. I got these off of Amazon. I'll go ahead and link them down in the description. And the idea is going to be to put this plant into a big pot without a hole in it. And then we're gonna pump air down into the root zone so that that root zone continuously has oxygen back into the water. It's gonna now become an active hydroponic system. And this is commonly referred to as deep water culture, or DWC. You sit the plant in water and then you add back oxygen into the root zone. It grows the plants a lot faster. It keeps a much more healthy root system. Let's get into the build now. It'll be really simple. So the first thing we're gonna do is start with a pot that doesn't have a drainage hole, because this is gonna be our reservoir. And we're gonna pot this Thai Constellation Monstera directly into the pot. Technically could use an insert pot that would hold most of the plant and the rocks and then keep the bottom as just a reservoir. So we're gonna move this plant over here. Look at this huge adventitious root. This plant is like 3 or 4 years old. Since the plant's giving me a bit of trouble, I'm actually gonna cut into the nursery pot and just break open the root system. And we have a really big, healthy root system. Some roots have rotted off, but other good, healthy roots have grown in their place. That's kind of just what happens when you have a 3 or 4 year old plant. And this has been grown in active hydroponics the whole time. So I'm gonna start with a light base of maybe 1 inch of rocks in the bottom. Then I'm going to take my air hose and my air stone, plug on your air stone onto the hose. I'm gonna try and put it just to the bottom, just like that. Now I'm gonna backfill in with some LECA on top of the air stone. Now I've got my root system dropped in there. My air line is off here to the side. So we've got her all filled back in with LECA. We have made it so the seam of our 3D printed pot is at the back, the ugliest side of the pot, as well as our air tube. You should have a one-way valve that came with your aquarium air pump. So you're gonna connect your air pump to a small bit of hose that you cut off. And we know that the air is gonna be coming out, but we don't want the water to suck back into the air pump and break it. Put it in this way. It doesn't allow anything to come back through. That's how that looks. Then onto the other side, we simply put our plant. And the nice thing about this long air hose is that I can run this pump down behind maybe a couch or something far away from the plant, and it's really quiet. And then this can kind of be up on a plant stand or wherever I really would like it. The last thing we just need to do is add in some water into here, and we'll use our LECA part A and B nutrient to do that. The final thing for me to do is get my gallon of water, my part A and my part B of my nutrient, and mix it up. So because this is an established big plant, we're gonna do 6 milliliters of our part A. That's 3. That's 6 of part A. Shake it up between. And since we did 6 of A, part B is always twice that. So this is going to be 12. That's 6, 9, and that is 12. And then we have our vitamin B1. We're gonna add 5 drops of this per gallon. And you can use vitamin B1 or Superthrive. And with our pH down, we'll just put 3 drops of this in to bring the pH down to maybe 5.8 to 6.0. An acceptable range of pH is between 5.5 and really 6.0, maybe 6.2. You really don't need to check your pH when doing LECA. And that's why we sell the LECA kit, because it's really already balanced for pH. And just to show you guys a sample of what the water reads at for all my nerds out there, there is our pH. So pH of 6, that's great. Again, you don't need one of these, but if you do want one, they're about 10 or 15 bucks on Amazon. So now we'll add back this gallon of water. I'm gonna kind of lean the pot over towards myself to see if I can see the water come out to the side, and I don't, so I'm gonna add back just a little bit more water. But since we're adding back that air into there, it's okay to run a bit higher of a water level, since we're adding back that oxygen from that air pump down into this root system, we're gonna have a lot less root rot. And while I'm working on this plant, I'm just gonna grab a little 3% hydrogen peroxide and just squirt in maybe 1 or 2 fluid ounces around the rocks to keep back any sort of bacteria, fungi, and microbes that might add to root rot. And it's just gonna add back oxygen into this root zone. It's very simple. It makes a passive LECA system now active, and I think the whole system with air pump and rocks maybe cost me 25 bucks. In actually a couple weeks, I'll add back just plain water into this plant and then probably lean it over on its side, hold the rocks and pour out some of the water and add back in some fresh nutrient water. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed learning more about LECA and active hydroponics. We're really trying to bring a lot of the hydroponics world over into the houseplant world. We think a lot of that knowledge could benefit the houseplant community. We hope you enjoyed this week's video, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please click the thumbs up down below. It really does help us out. And if you want to come back for more houseplant videos or rare plant videos or LECA videos, that's really what we're going into. Click subscribe down below and we'll see you next Saturday for another video. Thank you for watching.